Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
Hey Teddy, have you noticed how little attention science and health issues get in the media?
Totally, Edgar, yet science information is very important.
Yeah, for sure. That's why the Health Journalists Network is here.
How can they help?
They are a group of journalists dedicated to advancing public understanding of healthcare issues through impactful reporting on health and science.
Oh, really?
Yes, they meet up every month with scientists and researchers, policymakers, and activists at the science media cafes. They then relay what they discuss to the public.
Does that benefit us?
Oh yes, very much so. This helps with health and science literacy for a healthy Ugandan society.
Okay. I love getting informed about science and health issues. Health information makes all the difference between life and death. I'll look them up and engage them.
That's great. They are based all over the country.
Oh, okay. That's interesting, and they should be making real impact.
They are empowering health communities through journalism. Journalists can save lives just like doctors.
Go to the church, though.
Tawali man, what's up?
Man, can you imagine people just dump everywhere? Someone drinks water and throws the bottle wherever.
Come on, Rogers. What else do you expect people to do with an empty bottle?
Simanya now recorder. Did you know that plastics take at least 450 years to decompose?
What? That's a long time.
Exactly. Because plastics are made out of a lightweight and flexible material that doesn't decompose easily. And plastics everywhere in the environment cause plastic pollution.
What is plastic pollution now?
It is the accumulation of plastic waste in the environment, like bottles, polythene bags, straws. All of these contribute to plastic pollution.
I have been using them without knowing their effect.
Yeah, a lot of people have. Plastics are a danger to the ecosystem, both on land and in water.
So how can we overcome this problem? Is there something we can do?
Oh yes, we can reduce by minimizing the use of plastics, reuse by repurposing them, or recycle by collecting and processing them into new products.
Everyone wants to change the world, but no one wants to change themselves for the world.
How about we change our habits for the world?
And it starts with me and you.
This message is brought to you by Alternative Digitalk. The Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.
It's a good evening, and every Friday, as you know, from 5 to 6 p.m., we face the nation, and that's our show that streams live on all our social media pages, the Alternative Digitalk, and also Digitalk TV, and also on YouTube, the same channel, Alternative Digitalk. Every Friday, Face the Nation is the show that runs from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m., where we bring people to share issues and also solutions to the problems affecting the nation, where we also bring to you people to account for their offices and expectations as per their responsibilities or their leadership positions. Gladly today we have a parliamentary candidate that represents People's Front for Freedom, call it PFF. Should we call it a breakaway of FDC? But of course she would share with us in depth. Nana, and I should begin with Nalongo. She qualifies to be my mother because my mother is also Nalongo, and Baganda have that. So Nalongo, Nana Mwafrika Mbarikiwa. I hope that is the correct order of your names or the pronunciation. Nana Namata, say hello to our viewers, and then we should tell them why we considered having you here today.
Good evening, viewers. Good evening, Kampala people. Good evening, Ugandans. Well done. Keep tuned in to Digitalk. The name, like he tried, Nana, the title is Nalongo. Nalongo Nana Namata Annette Mwafrika Mbarikiwa. That's my name. That's the.
I think those names
the
fit on the neighbor, those on a neighbor exam. Anyhow, precisely, why do you consider yourself the most suitable for Kampala Woman MP?
Nana, you ask why do I consider myself? The communities consider me to be the best. It's not just a Nana thing. The communities out there, people in Kampala, as well as myself, I believe in myself, and I guess that's why others are compelled to also believe in me. The belief, if I read their mind, the belief out there is that I am able. I am a diligent woman, I'm outspoken. There isn't a door that I haven't knocked or won't knock when it comes to justice, social justice, human rights, work, business, farming, social life. As you hear, I'm a Nalongo, I'm a parent, I'm a mother, I'm a mentor to young people. Why do I consider myself best for this? Firstly, we have had the different candidates over the years, and to be precise, the incumbent today, the incumbent was given a chance to lead Kampala on that platform of Woman MP Kampala, and some believe, some really agree, I mean without being prejudiced, some believe that the chance given, she hasn't really executed her duties as leader on that platform. So the communities, people that know me, people that know what I have done, I am firstly a daughter to this city. I'm Kampala's daughter through and through. I'm born on one of these very hills. I have lived in this city. I know the challenges of Kampala intimately. I know these challenges very closely. Why would I be the best candidate? I know these challenges intimately. I understand the role of a leader on such a platform, to represent people, to be a participant in making laws that benefit the people, scrutiny, follow how our resources shared around the nation or around the city. I do believe that what makes me even stand out, I am brave and consistent.
How do you measure the bravery in you?
Where a lot of people have taken to silence with the challenges that face Kampala, Nalongo has been out to pick her little camera, her little phone, point at a broken road. Why is this like this? Call some officials at the Kampala Authority, call engineers. I have in my phone book several names of engineers that I have troubled over roads in Makindi, even in my position as just an Nalongo of the community. Why do I consider myself brave? People often come and whisper to me, Nalongo, something is happening. You know, in community, people, I don't hold any position in my community apart from being a mother and a businesswoman and maybe a rights defender. There is no elective position I have held, but I have done work in my communities, right from Tinda all the way to Makindi. I have done things that some leaders in elective positions have not, I think, done in their lifetime in leadership. Okay. Why do I consider myself brave? It shows from you, the people. I have calls on the daily. No longer this is happening, a child was raped, the police is playing games, this one is playing that. So I have worked as a coordinator between the law and society. I have, even without police uniform, been in community policing. I see issues, I report them here. In our society where people think the quieter you are, the safer you are, you know, the quieter you play around things, the safer you'll be. Many actually will find me and whisper, oh, we see you, we see, but the children, will you survive? There is a lot of cruelty. Maybe sometimes you need to tone down. I have had public In simple English, you could say it might pass as an outburst. Previously, 2018, passionately I spoke to leaders on national television. There was a live occurrence at the Protea Hotel where a big section of our leaders, including ministers, had sat to talk about tax policy, how best they would squeeze a little more taxes from Ugandans, tax enhancement, enhance the tax base. My question to them, even though I wasn't invited there, was very valid. For whom do you seek to enhance the tax base?
Okay.
So for me, bravery comes from around there, a daughter to this city that doesn't fear to knock any doors and tell them, look, in the community, this is what people are thinking. We were hit by the pandemic. On telly, we were told they would give people food, they would give people posho, they would give people latto milk. In the community, when I couldn't hold it anymore, my phone every morning, and at the time I was working with aid, I was working with help, having been disabled temporarily for close to more than a year by police cruelty and brutality. I was working with aid on a cane. But I would wake up to messages from brothers and sisters, basajja basemaka, you know, people you respect, respectable people, brothers, Nalongo, do you have like a 50 there and help me? It's bad. We are all locked down. Most Ugandans, we work without even savings. People had eaten up the savings, locked down 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. So for me, the pressure that I took on the phone every day of a relative, a friend, a neighbor, wondering if you had some extra sugar to share, if you had an extra liter of milk. When I couldn't take the pressure, in lockdown, I took my can. If you may use any sources, available sources, and such as you could find, the New Vision, the NTV and everything, things were covered. I took my can and moved slowly to where I could be seen to put out the message that the people you have locked down to save them of catching COVID-19 are going to starve inside their houses. They are going to die. And then the message wasn't taken very well. Police trucks came to pick me up.
Let's hold it there and ask you this. I know you know for a matter of fact that some theorists think that activists don't make best politicians. And I know you know for a fact that we have the likes, whose name I want to mention, that you have been with on streets and they have been swallowed by the parliament itself. Names withheld. How differently do you think you will manage your activism in that house as likely to be managed by the obvious speakers come 2026?
When you look at it, there is a part of it, a big side of it is right, that an activist may actually not make a good politician. In politics there's going to be a lot of...
Activism doesn't call for partisanship.
Yes. When you look at it, it may be true to a certain degree. Activists, we work out of passion. We work out of the heart. You really want it done right. You're not doing it for someone to pay you. For nearly half of my entire age and life, I have just looked out for others. Cared why this one is crying, why is this one not eating, why is the hospital environment stinky? You drive by Chirudu and the smell, and you're like, how do people get better in there? And then somehow you find authorities or people relevant to give the message. It is true to a degree that activists may not be the best in an environment where you're expected to put decorum first, call people sir, speaker, madam, so. An activist, sometimes when you see an issue, you're so passionate about it, you just want to come and say, hey Jim, hey Anita, look, people are being beaten in the street. So my coming into this as an activist, I acknowledge that activists, you may fear to mention names, we have had great activists.
Have been swallowed.
The Mwizuches, the Vasalirwa, we had very strong boys and women in these streets that came out and said, this cannot go like this. We've had activists, Mama Miriam Matembe, her activism, the activism on her mouth, in her voice, got her to, be pushed out of cabinet some time back. How do you
avoid being swallowed?
How do I avoid being swallowed? I am not alone. There is a number of us that have made a decision,
some of whom that are already swallowed,
to stop just criticizing and come into this kitchen and see, is there something too special that can't be done, that our people must go in and somehow they behave like they've been injected with silence, with some drug called silence? No. Why would I not be swallowed? If I haven't been swallowed by the dangers outside in the communities where I let these voices come out, where I speak for the voiceless, if I haven't been swallowed by what swallows some activists outside even of parliament, there is a very big chance I cannot be
swallowed, that the shark won't swallow you.
That the shark won't swallow me in a smaller space. Outside here, we've been tempted by many things, many things. You say this, you say that. People come, some tell it to you in a kind way, behave like they are looking out for you. You have to be quiet to your children. Some bring it on as a threat. You will die. This is not there is the late Honor Pito. One time we sat on the same panel at NTV, and when we got out, for me, I tell you the truth, young lady, you will even die. I said, are you threatening me? Everybody dies. I'm sorry, he's now the late. But as a woman that has faith, for me, my activism is not driven just by, people think we are just stubborn people who, I have faith.
And you want to take the same stubbornness
I have faith, courage, faith. I pray, I speak to the unseen powers, the universe, say, God. I say, God, I can't manage this. I don't know if my voice will change much here. I pray, I enter with faith that Ugandans will begin, especially you, my fellow activists, when you see that Nana hasn't taken criticism as the beginning at the end.
He's being swallowed.
Swallowed. I want to be swallowed. When you hosted me, the last time I was hosted, when I first declared that I would
contest for
offer myself for you to, scrutinize and see if I could represent your views, I was asked a question because I said, why do I need to come from the outside? For example, I'm going to represent Kampala. We agree the roads are really bad in most parts of Kampala and the inside. I drive a Toyota van, an old Toyota van. If I am able to service it and fuel it, and it can take me to the lawmaker's house and take me home and maybe take me to community, to the constituency outreaches, why do I think that immediately I swear in, I instantly need a powerful, expensive vehicle?
To benefit from our taxes as well, just like your...
So for me, I'm coming from that pain, sitting on the outside and wondering, somebody that's never afforded their own vehicle.
But that's a political statement that many people have made every when they come to look for votes. We have had so many. I remember one of them saying that so as long as Mr. Museveni is sworn in as president, she wouldn't swear in as an MP. And you realize that it's a mere political statement. I don't want to preempt your thoughts when you become an MP, but chances are that you may be the first person to also line up for the vehicle.
To line up for the vehicle.
Just like your other colleagues.
If I should be trusted by Ugandans, I doubt very highly. I believe very much. If there isn't an automatic injection that you get that gets pushed into your vein the moment you enter that house, it's very unlikely that a woman that stood by her word for, I can count nearly 17 years of vocal advocacy around justice, fairness, democracy, human rights, for me it's very unlikely. And that's why we are coming to ask if what we are spending on vehicles for leaders can equip even one hospital, one referral hospital.
Sadly, Nana,
can we start there so that when we get to a point that the taxes can afford us, a slightly comfortable, the comfort might be needed. For the small part I've been.
No, the sad reality is that you might be alone.
Oh.
And that means that you will definitely lose your battle on the very minute it will start. But let's leave that aside, and I ask you this. As you go to voters out there, it's not a secret that majority of the voters are infected with the money-seeking syndrome from the candidates. How are you managing the monetization amongst the voters from where you are seeking votes?
Sadly, this is very true. Sadly, this is very true, and it's a seed that's been sowed by the people, allow me to call them politicians, that we've previously trusted with leadership at that level, at that platform. They have projected, you know, the excitement of getting in there and instantly you need a very beautiful vehicle, flashy. Instantly you shall no longer go to Ntinda Clinic. You want to be in Aga Khan when you have a headache. We have projected that to the masses, that you go here to get luxury. You go to Parliament to get everything you had never afforded. You go to Parliament to take your first flight abroad. You go to Parliament to begin to take yourself to Aga Khan for antenatal care. You go to Parliament to get a flashy vehicle. You go to Parliament to gain weight within the first month because you're eating this and that. We have projected that gluttony, sadly. So to blame it on the voters or the populace would be unfair. How am I handling it? How will I handle it?
Who do you blame it to if you don't blame it to the voters itself?
The voters themselves. Voter education is very much lacking. If I may say it, I've said it before, to the institutions that should really help around that. Human Rights Commission, it's the right of voters to know why they elect leaders, to know why they need leaders that are not necessarily wealthy, very wealthy people, the wealthiest in the community. How will I handle that? I have already, for example, for me, I present myself as nothing but Nalongo. I'm a mother in community. I'm a simple businesswoman. I take children to school. I do the same things. I go to the same markets you go. So I present myself not showing you bank statements that I'm a wealthy woman. I'm a struggler like you. I have some have dubbed me hustler because they've seen me hustle. They've seen me drive my old van, drop my children at a relatively affordable school. They've seen me. I haven't lived a flashy life. So when I present myself to these people, I'm also not coming to tell them, look, me, I have money to give you. I have told them, if I may use the Luganda line, and they've given me a better line, Omuyirivi, and now they are embracing me as one of them. My lines began, there are some I told Mbarikiwa, if we are thirsty, you're thirsty and we are here, we have a conversation, I may get a big bottle of water, 2,000, and we share it. Beyond this, I can't afford it. I'm your fellow hustler.
In short, you are broke to vote by?
Am I broke to vote by? As a businesswoman still, I wouldn't find it right to get my children's milk and be giving it and buying people gifts with my baby milk and my children's school books.
Over the two, the voter and you who is contesting to represent them, who is seemingly helping the other?
I
have heard, there's one candidate I've seen saying that he's literally helping them, and people are receiving these messages so differently.
Stubborn as I am, there are no voters that I'm going to tell. People, sometimes I play social media. I will play with the community. It's not too good to be serious all the time. Nana is out pushing police all the time. No, sometimes I play. I have said the things you must be referring to.
Yeah, there's a candidate.
An aspirant, Lucy. He has said it. But when you belong to a group of Ugandans that are tired of the lack with service delivery, the lack everywhere, the dark streets, you're driving at 8 on Kampala Road, and you can't differentiate if someone is crossing the road or if it's just because the streets are dark. If you are one person that's genuinely concerned about the lack of services, truly, you may come off like that particular aspirant, Lucy or Lucy. It comes to a place you take things personal. The anger, the passion with which you bring out your views. While a little kindness is necessary, there is some truth in telling people, look, I don't have money to splash over you. I mean, I'm out to lead Kampala. These are 5 divisions. Nakawa, Kawempe, Rubaga, Central, Makindye. How much would I have, even if I just decided to give you 500 shillings, each voter that I meet? How much do I need to have? So we need to be realistic, completely realistic. Even the serving government that's broken a record of wanting to give handouts to people has not come close to being able to even serve one full parish and give them 1 million each. Indeed, you'll just see things on paper, or mioga, whatever. But when you look in community, you'll find 2 beneficiaries a parish or a district. So nobody would really have money to give to everyone. What I encourage the voters to be about is to look at the bigger picture, the larger picture. Is it the pseudo-wealthy person that affords to give out 10,000 on camera, which will pass like they can give money to everybody in the constituency? Or is it the one that's going to tell you, look, I am another common dweller in Kampala. You will agree with me that we deserve better. We deserve our voices to be heard about getting good roads, about getting well-equipped hospitals, about creating jobs for our youth. You will agree with that. So patiently, for me, I'm taking it step by step, patiently educating these voters, which shouldn't be my job. At this time, they haven't okayed the official campaign. But every chance I get, the people that have seen the few little posters that I've afforded to put out there, they say, oh, we wish you well, but I'm like,
the way I found you. I leave you the way I found you. Anyhow.
The way I found you. I will leave you more educated about what you need. What you need is not my 5,000, a feast. And then I take an entire 5 years in Parliament trying to recover what in my head I thought was mine, but you forced me to give it to you.
In specifics, what are those key problems that you may highlight as being Kampala's problems? And therefore, how would you solve them?
Kampala, key,
like these
well-lived and experienced poverty, urban poverty. We are well-dressed. We will drive a car with fuel worth of 10K a day. All the while you're worried it's going to run out. And poverty, transport around the city, facilities, dilapidated facilities, roads that are a very, very serious danger to all users. There's been, after people pushed on social media, there has been a show of some works on the roads. But roads that I use on the daily in Makindye, there is a road you slope from a Tanki Road down to a place, it has IHK, International Hospital. It's expected to take the ambulance, the child on border going to school, the big truck, infrastructure. But every problem enhances the other. If the infrastructure is that bad, businesses cannot prosper. The roads are so poor. I have an example, a live example. I like to use things I've experienced. I've told you that for me, the challenges of Kampala, I've lived them intimately. I've lived, that's the life I've lived, a life of struggle. Kampalans live a life of struggle, a hand-to-mouth kind of life. Be it the educated, be it in the ones that are seemingly in big business. We have loans swallowing us up. We have areas of rents. Some rents are paid in foreign currency. You make money in tiny, small denominations, and you're expected to change it. So for me, the challenges and how I would handle the very first ones, poverty, where people are not lazy. People work every day.
How do you intend
people
to
live there.
How do you intend to solve the poverty question?
Do we have even the Employment Act? It's not, it's just most of our laws are on the books, even the good ones that would work. You find a border rider, they would really earn from this and take care of their children. But the client will come and the border will take me to Muyenga. You're in town. He tells you, you're going to give me 7,000. Please, let me give you 4, let me give you 5. But it's a service you need. Why are you pushing him, the one that's thinking, my fuel, my spare parts after a month? Why are you pushing to pay them 4,000 when what they think is adequate to sustain their work is 7? That's where the Employment Act is going to be revisited to see how do people gain from that which they do. How does someone that walks into an office every day not get exploited? My call is going to be around washing off exploitation. Most workers in this city are exploited. You want the border services, you want to be in a hurry, you want Uber when they decide the charge is this, you want to give them halfway. That's already affecting, it's teaching a culture of taking away from each other. I would give you a good service. I've told you my dress is 20,000. I have calculated how much I need to get from it to sustain business. You want to give me 5,000. And out of desperation, I'm going to give you the dress. But in the second year of the business that I started with the loan, it collapses.
Are there people that also charge exorbitantly if you think that that could be the problem of the consumer?
Yes, so that's where we begin to exploit each other. So the borderman, knowing that if he tells you that from City Square to go to Muyenga, he needs 7,000. But if he tells you 7,000, you're going to tell him, man, Nina Okado, I have 2K or 4K. The next time another passenger comes to take the same destination or longer, the border will want to ask for twice or thrice as much. We do not have the culture to honor and respect paying what's valuable to those that give us a service or a product. You see, it goes as far as government. I even had one candidate use that example. They will go to farmers and decide we need beans for police to eat. We need kaunga for police. We need maize, we need this. The suppliers put there, 7 months, there is no payment. How does business get sustained? You are devaluing the service. You delay the payment. You're pushing the person, the supplier or the farmer into desperate measures. They begin to borrow. Even when they borrow, the money is coming late. There is loss of value in between there. So for me, poverty, urban poverty, pushing that there is value in what everybody does. If I have educated a doctor, coincidentally, my firstborn is a medical doctor. My child works for nothing for nearly 2 years. When it came to his internship about 2 years ago, the Minister for Health told them government had no money. They started to ask those who have money, bring money, and you go and practice in Mulago. For 7 or 8 months, I saw my son get frustrated after 5 years of studying medicine, being a first-class student, and waiting. There is no internship. Then you wait for it 8 months. When it comes, even at the government facility where you start to help to take care of people, you're there to volunteer for an entire year.
Okay. Nana, you mentioned about the rent being in foreign currency, in particular dollars. Is that a way you think you can win? Because
these buildings indeed belong to their owners, who sit and decide that now for these tenants, I will take euros, I will take dollars, I will take the pound. Unfortunately, some of the people demanding this are in leadership themselves. How do you support the country's economy if the able people, the ones that are so far better than others, those whose economics and whose earnings are slightly better and may be expected to build the ones on the bottom of the pyramid, are coming to disable the local currency with such demands? Rentals, shops for operation. You'll go in the city center there, even in the outskirts, not just in the central. Rent being demanded for in foreign currency is not just a direct blow to the shilling. It's also a direct means to frustrate these workers in these buildings or these tenants who are sleeping in your apartments. Is it a war that can be won? Definitely the building belongs to the one that's asking for euros. But there is a law. There should be a law that asks if someone is earning in shillings. Are any people in Uganda earning in terms of dollars or pounds or the euro? I don't think so. If they are earning in shillings, the teacher is being paid 400 after 3 months. If somebody raises a condominium for where they can sleep, they're expected to pay for where they sleep in dollars. Their sister that's in business that would loan them some money while they wait for the police salary is paying dollars to sustain a shop in town. Is it a war we can win? Why not? Why not? Yes, we can win it if we mean what the Constitution is telling us. If we mean to really create jobs and create space for the youth to get what to do, we cannot disable them from the word go. The small girls beginning businesses with borrowed money or a myoga or whatever, they reach a certain part of transaction and you want them to pay in foreign currency. This needs to be given the seriousness that can change things.
Okay. I know for a matter of fact that you have either passed by, seen or watched foreigners, and I'll be specific, in Makindi as a division. Makindi is under attack not with prejudice or hate, but with facts, both on ground and on paper, that Eritreans are consuming Makindi as a division. As a legislator, in the event that you are one, how do you think that Ugandans can coexist with foreigners?
The people that come in, some actually come in as refugees. We extend a helping hand.
Refugees and the around
living better lives. I've seen
having even some of them are now brokers. They are property dealers.
I have seen a border rider.
So
I've seen around in Zambia Estate. I saw a border rider. He had a box. I think it had bread because he parked somewhere and they were offloading bread into a little shop and he was going to the next shop.
How do we deal with the?
There is unfortunately indeed a feeling among the locals, among Ugandans, that people that have come in, people we have welcomed to help in a situation where maybe it wasn't so good back at their homes, are seemingly living a better life than us. And when you go back to what I was talking about, rents for apartments to sleep in or workspaces in dollars, some argue that the influx of foreigners or our brothers from elsewhere in Africa or beyond have a higher hand at paying. And then they tempt property owners with this foreign currency. A lot of them do not even want this currency in banks. Money is kept in the pocket for avoidance of maybe paying taxes in the businesses they have infiltrated. Why are Ugandans seemingly, sometime back there was even a social media role with our brothers, the Eritreans, arguing that they are hardworking. For them, they concentrate. For us, we love to live lavish, to spend lavishly. We love luxury. which I do not agree with. Ugandans don't necessarily live a lavish life, and that wouldn't explain why seemingly the people from elsewhere, some of them that are here to just get a breather while other countries are negotiating maybe their further. But now we even have refugees that are in parts of Europe that are likely to be preparations to send them here. The parts of Europe have already started on that.
How would you advise that their problem be managed, such a problem be managed?
The influx of people coming from elsewhere and seemingly living better, and their practices suppressing the practices of the local, the indigenous people, I think can be tackled with one. Let's be clear. The ones coming in, are all of them indeed refugees? Have others started to just come in as visitors? They see the opportunity, they want to stay, but the authorities that must work on how you stay to begin frying donuts like Nalongo have not applied fairness. Is there a way that we first understand who are the foreigners that are being talked of living better than Ugandans? It's not a crime to go to a different country. It wouldn't be a crime for me to go to Kenya or Tanzania and be clever and work out a business and it stands. It's not a crime. Can the authority, if the authorities especially have done everything, I am taxed as the locals or the indigenous ones are taxed, but some will make you understand that some of these people, when they come, somehow they are given a grace over Ugandans. They are foreigners that do business here, that have tax grace, they have tax whatever's, holidays, they have... so it all has to do with how the law is being applied. Is it equal law applied on the indigenous people of Uganda and the visitors or our friends that are coming from where things need to get better?
One of our last questions, a set of questions, goes to you to also remind you that Uganda is full of criminality. We have gangs. Some have termed themselves as Chifesi, to mention but a few. As a legislator, this time around, even when you go to parliament, you don't represent women alone. You also represent all of us that are in the city.
True.
How best would a legislator in Inana
Tackle insecurity?
tackle insecurity?
Again, the solutions have to come from the causes. What causes the Chifesi? Chifesi, when you talk of Chifesi, gangs that steal street lights, gangs that steal cable wires from wherever National Water puts cables and they are taken, telecoms put and they are pulled away. The cause, I took you when you asked the biggest problem, poverty. Poverty. I'm not saying every poor person should take to desperate, corrupt, uncouth measures, but poverty is the biggest pressure around that. When you look at the causes, or when you look at the key people involved in stealing cables, street lights, rumor has it, sometimes rumor that can be confirmed, that some of these gangs are aided by police, the lower ranks of police, or even the higher. Criminality, when we look, we could prove it if we give it time. The ones who hire guns, nobody ever finds if the gun was really a private gun belonging to a one Seg Kubuge. The source, what's causing that? Poverty. Involve young people in skilling, involve them where they can make a living for themselves. Pay people what's worth their time. When you have police officers, they are sleeping in Nakuru, Nakawa, those manyatas, they are natural, their bodies are natural, they are grown men, they are going to need to marry a girl, make children, but the setting in which they are, they cannot afford food, they cannot afford a decent life where they are sleeping is terrible. They are going to devise means like those. If they have a gun, they hire it to someone to scare people and take their phone. You get it? People that pull cables around, it's been at one point said, a big number of them were police officers. How does it come to that? Is their time as people that should keep us safe with our property well remunerated? Is their time well compensated? So when the issue of poverty exists, gangs exist even in the richest of societies, but they are best managed if we look into the real causes of people getting desperate to go and get into criminal gangs and steal and snatch phones. When the channel in the city, the Nachivubo channel talk was high, I had leaders mention, Omara, these boys who snatch phones like to hide there. Let it be built. Who has sent them into phone snatching?
But sadly, they aren't constructing the channel with the snatchers. Because unless you say that they, after the construction, all the snatchers will be constructed from within and they won't. And they will not. So meaning they are pushing them to our ends.
Exactly. When they come out of the channel, on Nachivubo channel or Win or wherever, they are going to spill into Zambia. They will come to Muyenga. They will come to Konge. They will come. There is no solution unless you fix that which is getting them to run away from some of the richest regions. Karamoja. You have people running away from Kabale where you have minerals in all those hills, but you have refugees coming in and identifying opportunity and penetrating Kabale. You think they are just in Konge and Makinde, the people that come from elsewhere? They are in different regions of this country.
Finally, it's about your disunity as opposition. People consider you people as very disorganized, disorganized, dishonest, selfish and greedy. Because where one expects you to unite as a force, you have a multiple of candidates vying for one simple office. What's your comment?
My comment on that, and I will not entirely, I may even 70% agree with you. For example, I belong in the PFF. And for me, right from the start, everywhere I've been hosted, I've told people I'm not going to go and start drumming the PFF drum, even where I should pause and say, why am I drumming? Why am I dancing? Why? Why am I dancing Kadodi? In my community, where I passed this morning, 2 vehicles fell in Emwala, but my party has leaders, key leaders in the city council authority. So for me, this unity, it's a key problem. Not just in the politics, even now it tried to even infiltrate activism. Activism, luckily, some of us who have done it genuinely, we've done this voluntarily. No pay. In fact, go take a mu. You're the ones gaining from all the work I've done. But yes, in activism, it's to a lesser degree. In politics, political parties, wishing only for myself. Several candidates, for example, the seat I'm vying for, there is the incumbent, several other women. Why parties that all purport to be needing change and overhaul from the main sitting government are all bringing Makinde East position has 22 candidates? 22. Competition isn't bad at all. But isn't this competition against ourselves? My party called for fighters. My party called for everything that I stand for, and I came, and gladly they passed that ticket. When I look at the other parties, the incumbent for this seat, when you call for people of change, the chance given the first time to your candidate got squandered. Nothing to show. But you still are forwarding them to be the face
The revolution.
of the revolution. We have a problem. Disunity, greed. Greed drives this disunity. Everybody wants to pull something. Money is a big motivation for most people that are purporting to be about change, to be about positive change in society. With money being the biggest motivation for most of the people that seek leadership. We may remain with a really big task. With greed, of course, it begins with money. I want this, I want that, I want that. With leaders refusing to lead by example, we are saying, and I am not saying, I will not even use this as to say, let Museveni also cling on the chair, since we, the ones that are opposing him, want term after term after term. Nze mbisobola. Nze ono, ono, ya sobola. How else are we going to know the others that may even surpass or be even better than this one, the incumbent, if you as a party that cries for change? Change is very necessary from within our very selves. You're in a party, you're holding 4 positions. You're an opposition party member. You are asking for a 4th term in office, which portrays to Ugandans that change, I can only fight for change if there is something I can get from a position.
Aren't you rather envious because you haven't gotten the first term?
The first term to see how it will work, and then if I won't want another.
Yeah. Anyhow, we need to leave here because anytime we might have you here and then you tell us, you see, my manifesto was so...
I haven't finished.
Yeah, I haven't finished because even some gentleman somewhere with his 40 years
let's
down the road,
play a relay.
Yeah, there is something.
Run, hand the stick to the young lady. Run, hand it to that one. Let them go.
Call to your fellow women in particular who, at least for on record, they are the most participant in an election. Their turn up isn't as bad as for men, but of course also encouraging young people and then we shall live here.
Yeah, the challenges, of course, that Kampala is struggling with, or Kampala dwellers are struggling with, they disproportionately affect women and youth. And my advice to you, dear fellow women, ladies out there, let's not allow to be used as campaign tools, as just voters. Let's get into this, aiming at getting what's better for us, our men, our brothers, our husbands and children. Let's get into it not as tools because of our numbers. Everybody now is talking of women groups. I'm being invited, Nana, here I have a group of women, make aprons for them. No, me, I don't owe you aprons, ladies. Apron in the market there, in those clothes, it's 500 shillings. Why do you want someone to use you and hand you an item that costs only 1,000 and then use that gift for the next 5 years to deliver nothing to you? So fellow women, let's not just remain in the statistics that we are big in numbers. So when it comes to election, everybody is running to us. The women group, the church women group, the singing women, the dancing women. Let us get out of this election that which is deserved. And that's good leaders. Leaders that are not just going to bang drums and we dance kadodi, and then in February we are lying in ill-equipped hospitals and dying while we give birth. I appeal to you fellow women. Nalongo Nana has cared for you out of office. She will care even greater while at a platform where no excuses will be given to her. When she demands for your hospital beds, when she demands for a cup of milk where your children go to a public school. Thank you very much. Nana Namata Annette. Nalongo Nana. Please, as the Luganda one goes, please see me for real when it comes to that day.
Yeah, from here, the finance department should invoice her for the campaign message. Keep it digital. See you some other time.
Alternative Dig Talk. Real issues, real talk.